This is World News Tonight with David Muir.
Good evening. We begin tonight here with several breaking stories. This vote to end the government shutdown and news involving Jeffrey Epstein. Tonight, lawmakers in the House have released Jeffrey Epstein emails, including emails referencing Donald Trump. The documents obtained from the Epstein estate include at least 3 emails about Trump, what Epstein says in those emails. All of this comes as today, after weeks of delay, Speaker Mike Johnson swearing in the new member of Congress, a Democrat from Arizona, and just moments later, she was the final signature needed in a bipartisan effort to get a vote now on the release of the Epstein files. And late today, the effort at the White House to try to convince a Republican member of Congress to change her mind on releasing the files. Mary Bruce leading us off at the White House tonight.
Tonight, in newly released emails, sex offender Jeffrey Epstein repeatedly discussing Donald Trump, shedding new light on their long friendship and seeming to suggest Trump had information he never shared. In a 2011 exchange with his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein writing the, quote, dog that hasn't barked is Trump, adding one of his victims spent hours with Trump at Epstein's home, but that Trump has never once been mentioned. Maxwell replying, I have been thinking about that. The emails obtained from the Epstein estate were released by Democrats on the House Oversight Committee. Tonight, House Republicans and the White House say the victim mentioned was Virginia Giuffre, who once worked at Trump's spa at Mar-a-Lago. She had said she never saw Trump do anything inappropriate. She died by suicide earlier this year. Trump and Epstein were friends for more than a decade.
Have you socialized with him?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
Yes, sir.
Have you ever socialized with Donald Trump in the presence of females under the age of 18?
Though I'd like to answer that question, at least today, I'm going to have to assert my 5th, 6th, and 14th Amendment rights, sir.
Trump insists he broke off the friendship when he learned Epstein and Maxwell were luring away women and teenage girls who worked at Mar-a-Lago.
Stole people that worked for me. I said, don't ever do that again. He did it again, and I threw him out of the place, persona non grata. I threw him out, and that was it.
In a 2019 email to author Michael Wolff, Epstein writing, Trump said he asked me to resign, never a member ever. Of course, he knew about the girls as he asked Ghislaine to stop. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for sex trafficking. Sources say she's angling for a pardon. And just a few weeks ago, when Trump was asked about her, he didn't rule it out.
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
You know, I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it.
Tonight, Democrats say the new emails increase the pressure on the Justice Department to release the FBI's full Epstein files.
What I know today is that Donald Trump is the president, and he campaigned on releasing all the Epstein files. Obsessed about it. His vice president obsessed about it. And now the White House is involved in a massive cover-up, and we want to know why won't they release the files.
Today, I asked the White House, in the interest of transparency, why not just go ahead, release the full files on Epstein, get this all over with?
This administration has done more with respect to transparency when it comes to Jeffrey Epstein than any administration ever.
A group of House lawmakers have been circulating a petition to force a full vote to demand the Justice Department release the files. They've been one name short, House Speaker Mike Johnson refusing to swear in Arizona Congresswoman Adelita Grijalva, who was elected 7 weeks ago. He blamed the government shutdown, but today with the House back in session, Grijalva finally sworn in. And minutes later, signing the petition.
I will sign the discharge petition right now to release the Epstein files. Justice cannot wait another day.
And David, in another twist, the White House is trying to pressure Republicans to switch their vote on that petition. Today, summoning Congresswoman Lauren Boebert here to the White House to the Situation Room, where the Attorney General and the FBI Director tried to convince her not to do it. But tonight, she's still signed on to try and force the release of these files. David.
All right, Mary Bruce at the White House. Mary, thank you. Of course, the other breaking news involves this vote tonight. The House back in session for the first time in 54 days to vote on the Senate bill to reopen the government after the longest shutdown in history. And so Rachel Scott tonight with late developments from the Hill.
The bill is passed. The motion is adopted.
Tonight, the House joining the Senate, voting to end the longest government shutdown in American history. We're going to get the American government running again and working for the people as they deserve.
Scores of Democrats voting no, furious that 8 Senate Democrats broke ranks to make a deal with Republicans, dropping the party's demand to extend Obamacare subsidies to prevent health insurance premiums from rising for more than 20 million Americans.
It is a betrayal. It's a betrayal of working people who are seeing their health insurance premiums rise double and triple.
When the government reopens, hundreds of thousands of federal workers will soon get back pay. But federal contractors are out of luck, including Willie Joe Price, a cafeteria worker at the Library of Congress who has not gotten paid in more than 40 days.
It's hard. In the process, during this shutdown, my car broke down. And it's just been things going on and on and on. And I don't have the finances to do it. Right now, everything is like in the red.
Senate Republicans also slipping in a provision that would allow Republican senators to sue the government for $500,000 if their phone records were searched without their permission by special counsel Jack Smith.
Filing a lawsuit?
Oh, definitely.
But Democrats and even Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson deeply unhappy.
Johnson, what was your reaction, though, when you saw that provision in the bill text?
I'm going to be honest, I was surprised and very frustrated.
This bill now heads to the president's desk for his signature, which will bring an end to this shutdown at 43 days, the longest in American history, David.
Rachel Scott live up on the Hill tonight. Rachel, thank you. This vote not coming soon enough for millions of Americans amid the chaos at America's airports. Nearly 1,000 more flights canceled today, and what the airlines are now saying tonight about flying in the days ahead, even with this vote. Here's Gio Benitez now.
Tonight, for the thousands of passengers forced to navigate a maze of flight cancellations and delays, an end to the government shutdown can't come soon enough. Airlines say even when the government reopens, it could be several more days before they are fully operational.
We have had 2 cancellations today and now 3 delays, so we're feeling it.
Today, more than 900 flights were canceled, more than 2,000 delayed. But for the first time in 2 weeks, nearly every air traffic control center in the country was properly staffed. The CEO of Delta Airlines is hopeful.
We get everybody back, we get people paid, most importantly, and by the weekend, I think things should be in good shape.
Still, some passengers worry about flying over the holidays.
We usually go away on the holidays. I think we're going to take this one off.
But airlines say there's still time to get travel back on track before the Thanksgiving rush.
We're still a good week plus away from that Thanksgiving week. So, yeah, there's still plenty of time to make sure that everything over the Thanksgiving week goes off as originally planned.
And David, it's unclear when the FAA will lift its plans to cut 10% of flights. And again, once the government reopens, it's going to take a few days to get things back to normal, David.
Gio Benitez back on this tonight. Thank you, Gio. The U.S. military buildup in the Caribbean. We have learned that the largest, most lethal aircraft carrier is now near Latin America, the USS Ford. Tonight, Venezuela now responding. So what is the U.S. planning? Let's get right to Martha Raddatz. Martha, what do we know tonight?
Well, David, it is the largest, deadliest aircraft carrier in the world and brings the number of U.S. forces in the waters near Latin America to 15,000. The U.S. has already carried out attacks on nearly 20 suspected drug boats, leaving more than 75 people dead. The question now is, will the carrier, which is packed with F-18 fighter jets, strike within Venezuela, or is this just a show of force? Either way, tonight, Venezuela has ordered a nationwide mobilization of 200,000 troops and is ordering the troops to plan guerrilla-style attacks. David?
Martha Raddatz with late reporting. Thank you, Martha. Now to the major change tonight coming in the weather. Millions, of course, dealing with this brutal cold, the first significant snow as well. Well, now the whiplash. Let's get right to Chief Meteorologist Lee Goldberg from WABC again tonight. Hey, Lee.
All right, David, back to normal November chill here in the Northeast. A little bit more comfortable if skies clear and the northern lights come out later. Could be 60 in D.C. over the weekend, but the real warmth is over the middle of the country. 60s to the Dakotas, 80s, summer-like 80s in Oklahoma and Texas. But look at the cooling in the west. That's because of the latest atmospheric river. Rain coming into Northern California tonight. Spreads throughout the state into L.A. tomorrow night into Friday. 1 to 2 inches of rain, maybe 2 to 4 inches inland. Even 60-mile-per-hour gusts and up to a foot of snow in the Sierra. David?
Lee Goldberger, thanks to you again. We turn now to the mother of a 9-year-old girl. She was in court in California amid questions about her daughter's disappearance. The mother not charged with the disappearance, but what she is charged with tonight. Here's Matt Gutman.
Tonight, the mother of a missing 9-year-old girl in a California court earlier today amid growing questions about the whereabouts of her daughter Melody. The mother now facing charges indirectly related to the child's disappearance.
Ma'am, you're released on supervised release. You are going to be released on GPS.
Ashley Buzzard pleading not guilty to a charge of false imprisonment with violence. The alleged victim, Tyler Brewer. He told ABC News in a statement he was at Buzzard's home last week trying to help her search for the girl. When the mother became visibly distressed after sharing information she appeared to regret disclosing. Brewer adding a box cutter was produced, and despite multiple requests to be allowed to exit the home, I was not immediately permitted to leave. Buzzard's daughter, Melody, last pictured on October 7th in this surveillance video from a rental car agency outside of Santa Barbara. Both mother and child appearing to wear wigs. The two then traveling to Nebraska. Police say at one point the mother even swapped out the license plate on that rental. Authorities say the child was last seen along the Utah-Colorado border on October 9th. The next day, her mother returned the rental car with the original license plate, but without Melody. According to a neighbor, this video appearing to show the mother removing missing person posters from her front yard weeks later. And tonight, Melody's paternal grandmother, who says she hasn't seen her in 4 years, is desperate for answers.
I want to know where my granddaughter is. What's going on?
David, law enforcement sources telling me that they are investigating every possible angle in this case, including the possibility that Melody was trafficked. Now, as for her mother, she was released today on bail with a GPS device, but law enforcement says that so far she has not been cooperative. David.
Now let's hope authorities find this little girl. Matt, thank you. Tonight, the Marriott-backed hotel chain that has suddenly gone bankrupt, closing hotels, guests given less than 24 hours to leave their rooms. Here's Rhiannon Alley tonight.
Tonight, the collapse of the Marriott-backed hotel chain, leaving guests around the world stranded.
We just got evicted from our hotel here in Montreal. Now we need to figure out what we have to do for the rest of the day because our hotel just went bankrupt.
Sonder, which operates boutique hotels and apartment-style accommodations in over 40 cities, abruptly announcing on Monday that it will complete winding down operations immediately and initiate a Chapter 7 liquidation of its U.S. business, citing severe financial constraints, and a decision by Marriott to terminate their licensing agreement with the company due to, quote, default. Frustrated travelers taking to social media saying they were given less than 24 hours to vacate their rooms.
Okay, we're basically moving to another hotel right now. It's pouring outside and we don't know what to do.
Others crushed by dream vacations, now in limbo.
We decided to book kind of a once-in-a-lifetime trip for our family to go to New York. Unfortunately now, it doesn't seem like it's going to go ahead.
David Marriott says they are working to support those guests who booked directly through them. But for those travelers who booked through a travel agency, they should reach out to those organizations. David?
All right, Rhiannon, thanks so much. Tonight, the stock market closing at a record high, the Dow gaining 326 points, closing well above 48,000 for the first time. When we come back, the urgent search tonight for a Utah woman last seen on a California beach. Why authorities think the 35-year-old may be in danger. They do suspect foul play. Former NFL star Antonio Brown under house arrest tonight, pleading not guilty to attempted murder. There's an update on Dolly Parton's health tonight. And then singer Adele to act in her first movie, what it's about and who she will star with in a moment here. Tonight, there's an urgent search for a missing Utah woman. She's missing in Santa Cruz County, California. Authorities believe Danielle Staley is in danger. Last seen at a beach bonfire nearly a week ago now. Her belongings and her phone left behind. Former NFL star Antonio Brown is under house arrest tonight, pleading not guilty to attempted murder after a shooting in May. Brown was arrested in Dubai last week. When we come back here, an update on Dolly Parton's health tonight and Adele, her first movie, and who she will act with in a moment. To the Index, Jimmy Kimmel paying tribute to his best friend and longtime band leader, Cleo Escobedo.
We've been on the air for almost 23 years, and I've had to do some hard monologues along the way, but this one's the hardest. And even though I'm heartbroken to lose him, I'm going to take yet another lesson from him and acknowledge how lucky I was to have him literally at my side for so many years.
Kimmel and Cleo grew up together. Cleo Escobedo was 59 years old. Tonight, the last penny has been made. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia producing the last penny. President Trump ordering an end to the penny, citing rising costs. The first penny minted in 1793. Dolly Parton is getting better. A source close to Parton telling People magazine the 79-year-old is at home taking care of herself, decorating for the holidays. Dolly saying, "I ain't got time to get old." Singer Adele set to act in her first movie, the film adaptation of the Anne Rice novel Cry to Heaven, set in 18th century Rome. Directed by Tom Ford, she'll star alongside Nicholas Hoult, Aaron Taylor-Johnson, and Colin Firth. When we come back here tonight, we heard from so many of you what you saw when you stepped outside your front door. We'll show everyone in a moment here. Finally tonight, what a show. Tonight, we heard from so many of you across this country awestruck. The spectacular Northern Lights. Overnight in Sandown, New Hampshire, east of Manchester, this time-lapse video showing the green lighting up the sky. Later, the orange and red hues too. In Eden Prairie, Minnesota, outside Minneapolis, Alex Falconer capturing the red and green shimmering above his backyard. The lights reaching as far south as North Carolina and Texas. In Fort Worth, the Northern Lights above this neighborhood. Tonight, NOAA, the National Oceanic Atmospheric Association, saying the incredible phenomenon is happening due to a solar storm. So strong it's impacting GPS communications and some power grids. In Berthoud, Colorado, north of Denver, Megan Schreckengoss capturing the lights at sunrise. In DeKalb, Illinois, Landon Mueller opening his front door to this.
Whoa. David, when I walked out my front door last night, I was not alone. Friends, neighbors, everyone out there watching the aurora together, and that is what made it just so special.
And from the air, look at this incredible view through an airplane window, captured by passenger Steve Donovan.
David, so last night I was on a flight from Denver to Philly, and the captain came on and said, look out through your left side window, you can see the northern lights. So I quickly grabbed my camera and was able to capture that while moving across the U.S. Showed the captain on the way out, and I hope he sees it on the news tonight, because that'd be cool to come full circle. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Another show again tonight. Let us know. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.